Dear students of grade 12, I hope you all are staying safe and sound at home. Today we will be learning chapter 5, that is Human Capital Formation in India. Students, these are some of the topics that you'll be learning from this chapter. It is a very simple and short chapter. You'll be learning only few topics here, and these are the topics which are quite important for your exam. So I hope you'll be able to learn something through this short slide. Before we learn on the concept of human capital and human capital formation, let us think of one factor that has made a great difference in the evolution of mankind. So, when we think about this factor, you will see that one of the human capacity is to store and transmit the knowledge, which he has been doing through conversation, through songs, and through elaborate lectures. But soon, man also found that we need a good deal of training and skill to do things efficiently, because a skill of an educated person is more than that of an uneducated person, because um, an educated person is able to generate more income than the uneducated person, and his contribution to economic growth is also higher. So economists have stressed the need of expanding educational opportunities in the nation, as it accelerated the process of development. Let us learn what is human capital. Just as a country can turn physical resources like land into physical capital, for example, factories, similarly, a country can also turn human resource like students into human capital, for example, engineers and doctors. So, society needs such sufficient human capital in the form of competent people who themselves have been educated and trained. This means that we need investment in human capital in order to produce more human capital out of the human resource. So, human capital is nothing but it refers to a stock of skill, ability, expertise, education, knowledge in the nation at a particular point of time. Physical capital, on the other hand, it refers to assets which themselves have been manufactured and are used for production of the other goods and services. Physical capital can be in the form of money, raw materials, machine, technology. All this comes under physical capital, but human capital is the human knowledge, human skill, and human expertise, or education. So these are the difference between the human capital and the physical capital. Sources of human capital formation. Human capital formation, as we have discussed earlier, it is a process of adding to the stock of human capital over a period of time. Some of its sources are human capital can come through expenditure on education, expenditure on health, on the job training, migration, and expenditure on information. So we shall discuss each of these sources in detail now. Expenditure on education. Expenditure on education or investment in education is considered as one of the main sources of human capital. Spending on education by individual is similar to spending on capital goods by company, with the objective of increasing future profit over a period of time. Likewise, individual uh, can invest in education with the objective of increasing their future income. Expenditure on health. Like education, health is also considered as an important input for the development of a nation, as much as it is important for the development of an individual. For example, a sick laborer without access to medical facilities is compelled to absent from work, and there is a loss of productivity. Therefore, expenditure on education or investment in education is also an important source of human capital formation. The third source of human capital formation is on the job training. Firms or the industries they spend on giving the on the job training to the workers. This may take in different form. For example, some of the workers may be trained in the firm itself under the supervision of the skilled workers. Some the workers may be sent for off-campus training in order to get the skill. So expenditure regarding the on-the-job training is a source of human capital formation because the return of such expenditure in the form of enhanced labor productivity is more than the cost of it. Another sources of human capital formation is migration. People migrate in search of jobs in order to fetch higher salaries. In India, unemployment is one of the reasons for the rural urban migration. Also, technically qualified person in India, like doctors, engineers, they migrate to other countries in search of the higher salaries. Migration in both of these cases, both in urban, rural migration or this migration to other countries, they involve a cost of transport, higher cost of living in a migrated place, and psychic cost of living in a strange social culture setup. So, the enhanced earning in the new place outweighed the cost of the migration. Hence, expenditure on migration is also a source of the human capital formation. The last sources of human capital formation is expenditure on information. People spend to acquire information relating to the labor market and other markets like education and health. For example, people want to know the level of salaries associated with various types of jobs, whether the educational institutions provide the right type of employable skills and at what cost. So, this information is necessary to make decisions regarding investment in human capital as well as for efficient utilization of the acquired human capital stock. So, expenditure incurred for acquiring information relating to the labor market and other markets is also one of the source of the human capital formation. When we talk about economic growth and development, human capital, that is the human skill and knowledge, is one of the main reasons for accelerated growth and expansion of many countries. So we shall be now discussing some of the role of human capital formation in economic growth and development. The first role of human capital formation in economic growth and development is it raises production and productivity. Human capital formation it raises our production level and leads to economic growth by adding to our gross domestic product. It implies that when there is a more knowledgeable and skilled workers, they make a better use of the resources at their disposal than that of those who are unskilled or uh, illiterate workers. Second is it improves quality of life. Quality of life is indicated by income and health. Income and health depends upon the level of education, skill formation, so on and so forth. So human capital formation it increases these skills and improves the quality of life of the masses. Better quality of population means there is a more economic growth. Third role of the human capital formation in economic growth is it brings more of innovative skills and innovation. So human capital formation it also leads to more innovations in the areas of production and related activities. Innovation leads to more growth. It also creates the ability to absorb new technologies. Another role of the human capital formation in economic growth and development is it raises life expectancy. So, life expectancy means the quality of being able to live for a longer period of time. So, formation of human capital it raises life expectancy of the people. Health facilities and availability of nutritious and nutritive food enables the people to live a healthy and longer life. This in turn aids to the quality of life and improves our living standard. The last role of the human capital formation in economic growth and development is higher rate of participation and equality. So by improving productive measures of labor force, human capital formation it increases excellent employment. This leads to a higher rate of participation in the labor force. It reduces the gap between the poor and the rich, between the gender, that is a male or a female. So everyone can participate in an employment when there is a more human capital formation. With this, we have come to the end of this chapter. In conclusion, we can say that the economic and social benefit of this human capital formation, that is, human skills and knowledge, can improve the development and growth of our nation. So that is why the union and state government in India have been uh, earmarking substantial financial outlays for the development of education and health sector. The spread of education and health services across the different sectors of society should be ensured so as to simultaneously attend the economic growth and equity. Uh, India had a rich stock of scientific and technical manpower um, in the world, but the need of an hour is to better it qualitatively and provide such conditions so that they are utilized in our own country. So, students, that's it for today. I hope you'll be able to remember some of the meaning of human capital, sources of human capital formation, and the role of human capital formation in economic growth and development. So, we shall be learning the next chapter in another class. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and study well. Thank you.